Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Siaram and we are going to discuss this video for the reactjs data binding. Reactjs data binding is very important for every developer because when you are going to work on a project, you must have to take the input from user, you have to do the process, you have to give the output. So in the term of taking the input, doing the process, giving the output, in not only React, maybe Angular, maybe JavaScript, maybe you are following some other JavaScript framework, their data binding become important. So data binding, how it does is, suppose you have a form, you have a user interface where you are going to collect the input from user. So when we collect the input from user, when we do some process, again return back the output to the user in the browser. This activity is going to known as a data binding. So in that, the major important part is how to pick the value from the input field. And again, the process the data and how to give the output to the browser again so that user can see. So in this video, you are going to learn very simple way in reactjs how to pick the value with the help of any event, and again with the help of setState, how to update under the state, and again how to bind under the browser. Okay, so let's come back. I'll come to the browser. I'll show you simple example first, and then I'll go to the code. So this is my example. This is going to be, here you are going to use onChange event, and on the basis of onChange event, you are going to call the function from the React, and inside the React function, you are going to use the setState event function, and with the help of setState, you are going to update the value under the state, and as soon as you update the value under the state, that value will keep on binding under the browser. So suppose this page is saying like enter your name. So what I will do here, I will enter my name here, suppose SIYARAM. See, as I started typing here, my name is getting bind here, means my value is getting bind below. That meaning you can say user interaction happen to input field. User is giving the input. Input is being picked by reactjs, and after that Java again with the help of some other syntax we are binding under the browser. So this thing we are going to understand how it is happening. A user has given the value under the input field. That value again reflecting under the another output element. How it is happening through code we are going to understand, and we are going to see how to implement that, right? Let's come back to the code. Some code I have written here. I will delete everything and I will start from the beginning. Let's see here, I have deleted everything. Now this is my page. I have already added this one under the routing, added into the app.js file. It will reflect in the browser. Let me start from the render function. Render function, you know the use of the render function. It is going to give the output in the browser under the class component. Return. I will be following a division here as a JSX parent element, and I have already created one ID called container. Now coming down, I will follow one h2 tag with the help of align property center so that it will print in the middle, and I'll write here called reactjs onChange onChange event and set state in class component. Right. I saved it. I wrote it. Let me come back to the browser and show you whether my output is reflecting or not. See, it's coming here. Awesome. Read this onChange event and set a state in class component. Let's come down. Let me follow one BR as well. HR I followed here. Color equal to blue color and size equal to somewhere 10 I given. HR everyone know. Horizontal line, it will bring a line from the beginning to last. End to end one screen will get draw. Right? So here one line got draw. Now that after that coming down, I will create an input field where we can ask the input from user. So I will follow here one another tag. Example h4 I'll follow, and inside the h4 I'll write enter your name. Enter your name. I'll create a text box. Input type equal to text. Right? Then I'll write a another h4 or maybe h1 where we are going to display the output. Suppose I'll come here, I'll write the h1, I'll keep here align equal to center, and I'll write here your name is question mark. Now let me come to the browser and see whether the content I have written JSX is it reflecting or not. Reflecting properly, right? So here target is when I enter my name here or any input when I enter here, it should get bind here under the browser. We enter the value under the input element, and that input element data should go to the React, and from React it should come back to where again output element. Means you are going to send the value of input field to reactjs, and from reactjs again it will come back to the browser, right? It will call as a data binding. You are giving some input, that input got processed by reactjs, and reactjs has given that again as an output to your h1, right? Just simple, like you are learning how to pick the value of one text box. If you are able to pick the value of one text box, then only you can pick the value of multiple text box, right? And if you are able to pick the multiple text box, then you will be ready to work with the form. And if you are ready to work with the form, then only further next everything you can do, right? So step by step learning is required. Now let me go to the code. We are going under the JavaScript part now. Design we have done. See, you should not forget the rule of JSX. See, we have followed a container. Inside the container, we have followed the every element. So all become as a child JSX element, whereas division become as a parent JSX element. JSX element, if you have a problem in understanding the JSX element, I have already created one video. You can look into my React.js series video. There you will understand easily. Let's come back to the next part, the processing part of data. So for that, constructor is required. Number one, why? Because we are going to use the state here. Under the constructor, every time, whenever you extend a class, you must follow the super to access the feature from the parent class. Now, come inside, follow the this dot state equal to, I'll create a variable called my name colon. For example, I'll give here call Ramesh, or let me give call Sierra. So I given my name called Sierra. So what I did in a state, if you are little unknown for the state, what is the meaning of this dot state, you can look at my previous video. There I have explained properly. This dot state used to create the state variable under the React class component, and this dot set state used to update the value of a variable under the class component, right? So what I will do is I will come down below and I'll try to print this variable. I'll try to bind the value of a state variable under the browser with the help of this dot state dot. Inside the state, what variable we have? Look at here, it is called my name. So I'll follow here called my name. Now as soon as I print the pointed here variable for my name, it will print in the browser by default SIYA, sorry, SIYARAM. Now let me come to the browser and see whether my data got binded or not. Default value I have set something, my name. Let me go here. Awesome. Look at here, it's saying your name is Siram, right? Now come back to the code again. We want to change the value of this my name when user start typing. Let me come back. So you saw first we created a variable called my name under the state, and we are printing here this dot state dot my name, right? Come back. Our target is to pick the value of a text box. Let's create a function called process input. Process input. Process input. Now this process input function will be responsible to pick the value from the text box. Let me call this function and show you whether my function is calling or not. So I'll keep an alert here saying as a hi. Now this process input function, I'll go here and I'll use the onChange event. OnChange equal to this dot function name. No need to follow here parenthesis, because inside the reactjs you are not going to use the parenthesis normally when you want to call the function. We can use it, but I'll guide you how to use that in further upcoming example. Now I call the function here. So once I start typing anything under the text box, I should see this alert. Let me come to the browser. Right, this is my input field. I type here S. See, alert is coming high. I, alert is coming as a high. Y, alert is coming as a high. Right. Still, guys, I have not binded the value here. This is the default value is printing. Okay. So let me put this variable as a question mark. Just question mark. Now come down. When we come down, see, in reactjs, we have two, three methods to pick the value. In that, this is the simplest one and it is the best for the learner. Now, this is the process input is a function. For this function itself, I'll create one object. It can be any variable. I created one object. Object. Okay. Now, below, what I will do is I'll write here object obj dot target dot value. That meaning it is saying where you are going to fire this event, which event? onChange. Where you are going to fire the onChange event, their value it will pick and it will give you as a alert. So target is nothing but where you are going to call this function. And object is nothing but you can say instance of this function. Okay, object dot target dot value. Now let me come back to the browser, and in browser I'll write here S. See, alert is coming as S. I, alert is coming. Y, alert is coming. A, alert is coming, right? That meaning the value of text box we are able to pass to home JavaScript. Let's go ahead next. At this place now, we wanted this value should get update under this variable. Which variable? My name variable. So for that, in the previous video, we have seen how to update the value of the state variable. So for that, this dot set state function we can use. This dot set state, and inside the set state you will call the state variable that is called my name and colon, and you will call function dot target dot value. Function is nothing but here we are calling as a object function dot target dot value. Object dot target dot value. Object will obj become the instance of a function, so it is saying object dot target dot value, where you are calling that function. Which function? Process function, that become as a targeted element and pick their value. So what we can do, let me go here and run it and see whether the value is coming or not. Now I'll go here and replace, and let me write here si. See, below value is printing SIYARAM, right? RAY, right? It's printing all. You saw here data is getting bind. Again, let's see the flow. I'm writing here, it is coming. Writing here the number, it is printing here, correct? So see the flow. First, we created a class, we follow the constructor, we created a variable. Before that, we have designed the layout. What we wanted to do, we wanted to do with the help of setState on the basis of onChange event. We wanted to pick the value of a text box and we wanted to pass to reactjs, right? So what we did, onChange, we call a function. Inside the onChange function, we are picking the value of a text box and passing to a state variable, and same state variable we are printing in the browser. That's all. So that becomes a data binding. One side your function is helping you to pick the value, and another side your render function is, whenever the render function get execute, your value will get bind here. And when the render function will execute, as soon as you update anything under the set state, right? So let me come back to the browser again and show you again how it is happening. Look at here, SIYARAM, correct? Getting binded. Whichever I type under the text box, everything is printing here, right? So hope you enjoy this video, and then I'll request you, you can, if you are new to my channel, you can subscribe it. It is a benefit for you only. Whenever I'll create an awesome video, a logical video that will help you on your project, that will help you to move up your career, you will get notification automatically if you subscribe it, right? So let's subscribe it and see you in the upcoming video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.